Hello, hey, hello. Welcome in. I am Pink Owl at 12. Claire will be on shortly, but this is the Owl's Corner. We're gonna just be waiting for Claire to show up. She's on her drive home right now, but today we're going to be covering some very interesting cases. I think I went first last week, so it's her turn to go first. But I have everything set up, so we're all set there. I even have everything moved around, so now I can look at y'all and I can say hi, because I have the chats actually where I am looking, like literally. Move over just a tiny bit. There we go. Perfect. But let's see. She said soon. How's everybody's Christmas, holidays? Sorry I kind of took a break, but I kind of needed it. I I just wasn't doing well mentally and I needed the break. I feel better now, but like it was a thing. Um I just posted over on TikTok. I've been posting a lot more on TikTok cuz I've been feeling a little more confident and stuff. But um thought of a really funny joke and stuff when I was hanging out with Steven last night, and he got a new train game. And obviously, somehow it got to a funny, but I they talked about, oh, are you train sexual? Are you train curious? And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Is that when you just gotta get railed all the time? But that was him now calling me. But what? There's a poopert. We got a special surprise right here. Oh, my boy. This is my baby. This is Poops. Pooperts. Poopertson. It's actually Poopert. Or Rupert Jean, but we call him Poops. Poopert. He is so docile for me, but that's because I made sure he was. He can go whenever he wants to. But he is my baby. Summer might come across in the back. She's our other kitty. Otherwise Rupert might be getting into stuff he's not supposed to. What are you doing? Stop it. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Why are you meowing at me like that, cutie pie? Um, I'm waiting for Claire's call. Oh, wow. Okay. He. So exciting. Anyway. Let's see. Is Claire ready? That's the real question. Is Claire ready? It sounds like the Claire is in fact ready. Is Claire the ready?
Claire is actually ready. Yeah, I was worried because got caught up talking to More a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, she hasn't seen me for most of the day
Yeah.
with the new job. But was able to quickly subvert. So.
I have yours up first. Because I went first technically last week with Kurt.
I was going to say, I think it's my turn to start.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. That's why I got you first. But we can get over to that. And I have it up. I also have it relabeled, so now it has the Owl's Corner up in the front, referring to both of us. And I am going to be Pink Owlet. And then she's Rose Tara. But we are the smarty ones, so we are owls in spirit.
Yeah. Or I could just be the blue owl.
I mean, that works.
Yeah. Whatever works. So, you did unfortunately misspell his last name. It is Whitman.
Okay.
but eh,
Oh, what do you
close
mean?
enough.
Oh,
It's
WH.
WAITMAN. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not too much of a difference,
We got it
but
fixed though. We got it fixed.
gotta fix.
Oh, I should have added that tag anyway. I forgot to tag something on TikTok when I should have. Anyway, it'll probably get there.
It'll probably. You're not sure.
I'm hoping it does. I tagged Pillow Princess, so I'm hoping the rest will follow. Um,
Hmm.
cause
All right.
it was
Going
it,
to move along.
cause it's a good ass joke. Okay, last night,
Uh,
Steven, I already told viewer, but I don't know if you heard.
I don't think I have. I
Last
mean,
night, one of Steven's friends got him a game. It's a
mhm,
train game, so a railroad game.
mhm.
And they were like, "Yeah, I've been train curious and stuff." I was like, "What's that? Some new sexuality? What is it? When you just want to get railed?"
Mm,
And let
okay.
us continue.
Okay. I got there. I understand now what's going on. All right. I get the joke. Okay. So, today I have decided to talk about Charles Whitman. He is also known as the Texas Tower Sniper. So, Charles Whitman is in a certain class of killer known as a mass murderer or a spree killer. So, what generally differentiates a spree killer or a mass murderer from, like a serial killer or just someone normal is, generally speaking, a killer of his type is someone who kills a very large amount of people in a short amount of time. And then generally, when it's a spree killer, it's multiple areas that are involved. So Charles Whitman was one of the first recorded spree killers. And the thing with spree killers is they're only like something more recently developed, just because it didn't used to be as easy as it is now to, go out and kill a bunch of people because of the development of guns and stuff. Um, uh, he's also one of like the first like broadcasted live uh, mass murderers, because when he did his killings, it was kind of just when news was starting, so it wasn't exactly immediate broadcasting like it is nowadays, but it was pretty close. Uh, so to go ahead and give you the lead up to why Charles Whitman did what he did, he early on had a lot of expectations thrust on him. He was the eldest of three sons in his family. His mother was Margaret, and his father was Charles. And unfortunately, uh, Charles, his father specifically, was not a bad man, but he wasn't a good one. So
I
he
get
was
what you mean.
originally raised in an orphanage and described himself as a self made man. And unfortunately, Whitman's father was generally physically abusive. Um,
Then
he
he was a
essentially
bad guy.
demanded
You
near
don't abuse
perfection.
kids, but continue.
Yeah. So what it is he was a man who essentially of the mindset of, if I could do it, if I could build myself up, why can't you? He demanded near perfection from his entire family. Um, so generally speaking, he pushed his family to extremes. So Whitman was, when he was young, very polite child, described as seldom losing his temper. Um, he was extremely intelligent. Um, they actually had him examined, and his IQ, when he was just 6, was revealed to be about 139,
Goodness
which is
gracious.
very high for that age.
I never
So
tested to see what my IQ was, but I have a feeling I would test pretty average, if not below average. I'm gonna be real honest. The Vembo is not a joke. I'm a little bit on the ditzy side. However, you want me to craft anything? Fuck yeah, I can do it. It's just I'm not like that kind of smart.
yeah, in my case, I'm not the most crafty, but I am good on the intelligence side. I like to think. I
I'm
mean, I did.
creative.
Yeah, we balance each other out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so uh, his family, his parents were um generally they tried to encourage him, push him, like I said, to extremes, and unfortunately any indication of failure or like a lethargic attitude were generally met with discipline by his father. um so his father, you know pushed him. His mother, on the other hand, very nice woman, did her best to raise her sons, um, well. She was a devout Roman Catholic, so she raised her sons the same way. They generally went to Mass. Um, and they don't mention the father ever coming, but the mother and all three of her sons served as altar boys to the church that they went to. Um, and then uh, Whitman also joined the Boy Scouts of America at age 11. What is the big thing is that he became an Eagle Scout at 12 years old within 3 months, which at this point in time was the youngest Eagle Scout ever. Because again, an Eagle Scout is very hard to do. I know nowadays Girl Scouts and Eagle Scouts are a little different, but generally back then you had to perform so many merits, get so many badges, and generally perform some type of like presentation to gain that rank.
Yeah, I
So it
remember
was
all
quite
of
an accomplishment.
our bridging stuff that we had to do. That was so much work
Yeah,
for
it was a
kids.
lot of work.
But it was like
So the
worth it
fact,
at the time until everybody just kind of dipped.
yeah, but we all got older. But yeah, so the fact that this kid at 11 within 3 months became an Eagle Scout, very very impressive. Um,
Yes.
and then just kind of wrap up his childhood, and this is a fairly important to his backstory. Is So Whitman's father was a firearms collector and an enthusiast. He taught all of his sons how to shoot, clean, and maintain weapons, which will again come important later. He regularly took them on hunting trips, and Charles apparently became an avid hunter and an accomplished marksman. Uh, so, kind of finally continuing on with the history. Um, in high school, he was regarded as a fairly popular student, um, and he was dedicated. He had a job as a newspaper route boy, and apparently he was able to save enough money to buy himself a Harley Davidson motorcycle, which he then used on his route to gain more money.
What?
The
That
big thing
must
is
be
that
nice.
during,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, so the big thing is during his period in high school is that right after he graduated, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Um, uh, and, you know, he did not tell his father he was doing this because apparently the reason he enlisted was because a month before he enlisted, he had come home drunk, high school student partying a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But his father got so angry that he had beaten him and thrown him into the family swimming pool, where he had almost drowned.
Oh Jesus.
So
I mean, I only
Whitman
ever
was
got
very
pinned up
much,
against a door, but damn, okay.
yeah, Whitman was very much of the you know, as most children unfortunately grow up in this kind of environment. As soon as you can get away, get away. So
Yep.
He was assigned an 18-month tour duty with the Marines at Guantanamo Bay. Um, and apparently, it was only on this trip to Guantanamo Bay that his father had actually gotten, word of his enlistment. At which point, he tried to telephone a branch of the federal government trying to have his son's enlistment canceled. So,
Good try,
fun
Dad.
times. Yeah, he was not successful. So, Whitman was able to, within
Enroll.
his initial 18-month service, uh, got a sharpshooter badge and the Marine Corps' expeditionary medal. Um, when he was doing the marksmanship tests, he managed to score a good 215 out of 250 possible points on the test. Um, in the end, he did able to get
He was able to.
sorry, he was
Sorry, I thought
in
my brain broke for a minute. I was like, no, you definitely just said that. Okay.
too many
Continue.
words trying to come out of my mouth at one time. So, uh,
Type.
he was generally labeled kind of during his enlistment, not the expert level, but the second to expert level in qualification. He never officially became a sniper, but later on, that's what he would be called. Uh, but he didn't quite get there officially. Um,
Mm.
in the end, he eventually applied for the scholarship uh, to the Naval Enlisted Science and Education Program. So, the Army generally has these programs to allow people to get degrees while they are, serving out their terms of enlistment.
Mhm.
Um, and he was successfully able to gain this scholarship. So he was enrolled into uh, the University of Texas at Austin to study mechanical engineering. The thing is, this is where things kind of start to go downhill. So, for the first time in his life at university, he's, not without, like, essentially a taskmaster. He doesn't have his father keeping him track of him. He doesn't have the Marines keeping track of him. So, he
Oh, that sounds
lets,
familiar to my case. You'll hear more when I get to mine, but that sounds real familiar.
yeah, he lets loose a little bit. So, he doesn't do the best in his studies. He essentially indulges in a lot of hobbies, including karate, scuba diving, gambling, and hunting. Um, and these latter two do get him in trouble. So, shortly after his enrollment, Whitman and his two friends were observed poaching a deer. Um,
Oh, fun.
which there are certain seasons where you can hunt certain animals. So they hunted and poached a deer out of its season. They were discovered doing this and were fined for the offense. Um, uh, and then the gambling also got him in trouble. He did rack up some debt, all the fun stuff. The one good kind of bit during this time of his life is that he did meet and then marry his wife, Kathleen Frances Lesner, who was an education major. They were in love pretty quickly. They courted for 5 months before they got engaged. Um, but, his wife's family was apparently pretty happy with him. They didn't really see too many issues with him. And Whitman's family, the ones that he cared about, actually did come to the service. So uh, one of his younger brother Patrick even served as his best man. Um, and his wife seemed to be a good influence on him, helped him get his grades back up. but unfortunately, the damage had kind of been done at that point, so he lost his scholarship and was back into active duty in 1963.
Oof.
Uh, so,
Stay in school, kids, and pay
unfortunately,
attention.
yeah, unfortunately, this is kind of the slow downhill slide now. So when Whitman came back to Camp Lejeune, he, kind of resented the fact that his college studies had been ended, um, even though he had been promoted to the rank of Lance Corporal. Um, uh, so essentially, what it is, at this point, he had kind of gotten a taste for gambling, so he continued to gamble. Um, this led him to be court-martialed. Um, and then, generally speaking, he was also uh, got a loan for threatening another Marine, and got, hard labor to try and correct it, and it just didn't work out. He was then demoted to private, which is kind of, generally speaking, levels lower.
Oof.
Um,
Should not
Either
have been
way,
rude. Should not have been an asshole. Be
mm-hmm,
kind to whoever you can. Damn, buddy.
mm-hmm. So, generally speaking, after everything happened, he was honorably discharged from the Marines. Um, and what he did next was he returned to University of Texas Austin and enrolled himself again back into the engineering program. He worked as a bill collector to support his wife, and then later on as a teller in a bank. Um, and during this entire time, his wife apparently worked as a biology teacher in a high school, as well as became a volunteer scout leader. So, uh, all the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, during this kind of time period, when he's back in college supporting him and his wife, um, Whitman's parents actually managed to be separated. So, his mother finally kind of got tired of her husband, divorced him, and ended up moving to where Whitman lived, his household, or
Mm-hmm.
not his household, but his town. Um, uh, and they were apparently very close with each other. Uh, and kind of during this time period, at the very end, it's discovered that due to the stress, Whitman starts abusing amphetamines and then apparently also began experiencing severe headaches. So I'll kind of discuss obviously what that is later, but uh, we're getting to the big event.
Yeah.
So before the actual incident, Whitman, you know, starts not feeling well, knows his mental health is generally kind of degrading. So he tries to go to a few doctors, a few psychiatrists, um, and apparently does flat out tell one of them what he has been thinking about doing, which he, doesn't ends up doing and becomes known as the Texas Tower Massacre, essentially. Um, so apparently, the police, after everything is said and done, trace his steps. So apparently, what he does is the day before Whitman goes and does his shootings, is that he goes and buys a pair of binoculars and a knife from a hardware store, um, and proceeds to kind of act out the day normally, picks up his wife her summer job, meets his mother for lunch at a cafeteria. Um, Apparently, him and his wife go visit close friends later on that day. Um, and then that night, what he does is he writes a suicide note. So
Mm.
I do have an actual blurb from it that I'm going to read. Um, and it says, I do not quite understand what it is that compels me to type this letter. Perhaps it is to leave some vague reasons for the actions I have recently performed. I do not really understand these myself these days. I am supposed to be an average, reasonable, and intelligent young man. However, lately, I cannot recall when it started, I have been a victim of many unusual and irrational thoughts. These thoughts constantly reoccur, and it requires a tremendous mental effort to concentrate on useful and progressive tasks. Uh, in his suicide note, he goes on to request an autopsy be performed after he's dead to determine if there's, something going on. And I mentioned earlier that, they record his IQ as very high when he was only 6. Generally speaking, it was very clear that he was a very intelligent man. And it's interesting because he realizes something is wrong with his brain, but is not able to stop himself. So after he finishes writing his suicide note, what he does is, sees his wife off to bed and then goes out. So apparently, just after midnight, Whitman drives to his mother's apartment and proceeds to kill his mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's what that was. Okay then.
Yeah, it's the start. This is the start of his killings and why he's considered not just a mass murderer but a spree killer, because technically does happen in a few places. So um, he kills his mother. She's asleep. It's very quick, just a quick stab to the heart, and she's gone. He then drives back to his house and he does the same thing to his wife.
Oh
She's
no.
asleep. Stabs her in the chest. She's dead. So neither of them were aware it happened. And apparently, there's more reasoning left behind. So he does leave a note at his mother's house, and it does say, "To whom it may concern, I have just taken my mother's life. I am very upset over having done it. However, I feel that if there is a heaven, she is definitely there now. I am truly sorry. Let there be no doubt in your mind that I love this woman with all my heart."
Uh-huh.
Um, Later on, uh, it's figured that, well, he does write that the reason why he had done this is to kind of save them the embarrassment and the pain from his actions to come, which is horrible reasoning.
Yeah, but he was not of sound mind at all.
Yeah, but they are the first two to die to his killing spree.
Mm.
Um, but generally speaking, even though he was out of his mind, like, he tried to leave as much like evidence behind that he loved his mother, he loved his wife. He just wanted them to not be in pain for everything. That's why he killed them while they were asleep. Why he made it quick, or tried to make it quick. It's not an excuse, but like,
It's
based
what
on
made
all evidence, it
sense to
was,
his ill brain.
yeah.
And
It
and based on what you told me last night, and it was more than what you'd expect.
Yeah. So, which, uh, after that, this both happened while they were, you know, asleep. So, what happens next is that in the morning, he goes on to call both his wife's work and then his mother's work, saying that they're both, sick, can't make it in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, what happens next is that about 11:45, or no, not 11:45, 11:35, on August 1st. So he drives himself to the University of Texas campus and just falsely identifies himself as an employee who's there to drop off some equipment. Because um, the big thing is he's literally carrying like a full tote bag of weapons.
Oh.
Uh, or I think it might even be a trunk that he's just got loaded up with guns and things. And apparently, when they did like a check later, there was like an M1 car
An
loaded up.
an M1 what? Sorry, you broke up for a second there.
An M1 carbine.
What is that?
Um,
Is it like a
Generally
bomb?
speaking, it's like an early semi-automatic weapon.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah.
I thought it was like a bomb or something. I'm like, that's interesting. Didn't know about
No,
that.
no, not a bomb, not a bomb, but early machine gun, I guess, is kind of the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I think that's
Almost,
about the right way. Yep.
yeah, or early machine gun.
Yep. That sounds
Um,
about right.
so what he proceeded to do is haul the literal trunk up to the observation deck of the University of Texas, which, just for your information, is I have the actual height. It's the 28th floor. So what is it? I think approximately 230 feet above, uh, the ground level. So managed to haul it up pretty high. Uh, and unfortunately, this is where his next few kills come from, because on the way up, he killed the receptionist that was in the tower and two visitors who had been admiring the view of the campus.
They
So
were
currently
just
his kill count,
wrong
yeah, his
place,
kill
wrong
count is
time. Oh my
yeah,
god.
bad place. So his kill count is now up to 5. Uh, and then so about 10 minutes later at 11:45, he gets himself set up, and then he just starts shooting people uh, on the ground, more than 200, the 200 feet below him. Um, Apparently, during this spree killing, one of his first victims is an 18-year-old student who was 8 months pregnant. Thankfully, she survived, but unfortunately, the bullet pierced her abdomen, and it did kill her unborn child.
Oh
And
man.
her fiance, who was right next to her, uh, died as well. So
Oof.
this spree killing went on for about 90 minutes, and ended up killing 11 more people. Wait, no. Sorry. I think I'd read. Yeah, 11 more people were killed, and then an additional 31 were injured during his shooting.
Oof.
So, um, uh, it all. Ooh, okay, my screen froze for a little second. So, uh, this spree shooting, finally ended when two patrolmen, which were Houston McCoy and Ramiro Martinez from the police department, finally managed to get to the top of the tower and shot and killed Whitman.
Mm.
So uh, based on the suicide note that they found, they did go ahead and perform an autopsy on him as he had requested.
Yeah.
Um, what they discovered upon the autopsy was that apparently he did have a pecan-sized brain tumor, which, when it was first found, was labeled in astrocytoma with a small amount of necrosis. Um,
And
uh,
necrosis means.
well, necrosis is from the ancient Greek word for death, which generally is, considered a cell injury. It's the premature death of cells. In other words, dead brain cells in his case, which is not good. Um, uh, it kind of means part of his brain was rotting with the tumor. Um, so the thing is, when this is found, the governor of the Texas at that point in time, John Connolly, commissioned a full task force to examine the autopsy findings and material related to Whitman's actions and motives. Uh, and this commission was literally comprised of neurosurgeons, psychiatrists, pathologists, and psychologists.
Mhm.
Um, and like they, were trying to figure it out. Obviously, if that this brain tumor had, been why he had done this. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, he wrote in his suicide note that he knew he was not supposed to be acting this way. He knew that something was wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
Just nothing he
so
could do.
yeah, there's nothing that he could do. Um, so generally speaking, what was discovered is that in actuality, this tumor was of the most aggressive, but also most common type of cancer that does originate in the brain. Um, and that it wasn't just a little bit of necrosis, it was fairly widespread areas of necrosis. Uh,
Oof.
and generally speaking, um, they believe that the tumor was also pressed against the amygdala. Which, what do you
Mm.
know about the amygdala, if anything?
Is the amygdala the part that's in the front of the brain?
The amygdala is actually one of the kind of almond-shaped areas that's like nestled fairly deep within your temporal lobe. Uh, but
Thank you, Bobby.
what it is the amygdala is your the part of your brain that's generally linked to anxiety and your flight or fight responses.
Mm. I see.
So, generally speaking, they believe that, obviously, this tumor that was, cancerous and full of already dead and dying cells was directly pressed against his flight or fight instincts constantly.
Oh, he was probably having pretty much a constant panic attack and
Yeah.
constant paranoia.
Mm-hmm. So,
No wonder
unfortunately,
he
while they
thought his
can't,
mom and wife would be shamed because of this or whatever. He was paranoid of that.
yeah, so unfortunately, they can't officially say that, the tumor was the cause of what he did, but there's a good portion of people that go, like, oh, yeah, this is absolutely why he went on his killing spree. It's because, his brain couldn't think right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of it. So, uh, his spree killing is technically considered to be
Thank you.
uh, only 13, but, plus the two of his wife and his mother, it becomes 15.
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
good to know what the heck that is, I guess.
that's Charles Whitman, one of the first spree killers.
Now,
An unfortunate one,
yeah.
but yeah.
Let's do a little intermission, a little sit and chat, because that was a little bit. Um, got
Well, yeah,
turned.
that was a long one. I probably should have prefaced that I knew it was going to be a long one just because, uh, well, the history of it.
Yeah, yeah. So I got top trimmer last week because one of our top trimmers who usually is there was not there on Monday. But I got another Chapel of Love pre-roll. Chapel of Love number 6. And then I got some goody goodies. It's papaya cake number 5, and I got 2 of them. So there's 2, not just 1. And then I don't like a lot of our edibles for my work, but these ones are my favorite and probably the only one I like. They're peach mango. So good.
Mm.
Otherwise, the rest of them,
And
meh. But
yeah,
with that being
yeah,
said, and
I'm
all
not
the
super.
fun of that, are we ready for some Harold Shipman?
Yeah. Oh, I do want to mention. So you know how my mouse had been on the fritz like the past few times we had been talking.
Yes.
It was literally just the batteries that were dying slowly.
The
So
what?
got those.
What
My
was that?
mouse has been acting, you know,
Oh, just had to
bad.
get new batteries. Okay, understood.
Yeah, it just needed new batteries, but obviously like it was weird because it was obviously like slowly dying.
Yeah,
Like it tried to get as much juice as possible out of out of the batteries, but it was
yeah.
not working.
Well, let's get into this. I'd like to introduce y'all to Harold Frederick Shipman, aka Dr. Death, and you'll get to know why he's called that in a few minutes. His birthday is January 14th, 1946, so old guy. Um, he was born in Bestwood, Nottingham, UK. His given name, Harold Frederick Shipman, and you wouldn't guess from looking at him, but like he's one of the most prolific serial killers in modern history. Um, yeah, he looks just like any other like grandpa or doctor kind of thing. No, don't trust it. It's don't trust it. He's born the
Yeah,
middle
I
of 3 children. And you know, you'd expect middle of 3 children, they're going to get middle child treatment, right? Or the stereotypical middle child treatment where you get kind of abandoned. No, his mom held Freddie, as she called him, up on a damn pedestal. Where it was like, he is my smartest child. He is gonna be the handsomest. He's the smart. He's gonna achieve everything, kind of thing. So she put like everything into him, and then his siblings kind of got to do what they wanted. But she was super overbearing in which she would make sure to choose who he talked to, what he did, what he studied, literally everything in his life she picked for him, including what he wore.
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, right? I know, right? Um, but she showed obvious bias in that, but like it wasn't. It was kind of like a bias that the other siblings were like, I mean, I'm not so mad mom's not paying attention to us. That's a little fucking scary. Um,
Yeah, too intense.
yeah. But because he was put up on a pedestal for so long, as he grew up, he grew into that mental attitude of I'm better than everybody else. And later on, he ended up running in high school, and he was actually really good at both of them. And his teammates were quoted saying that it was one of the few times that they actually felt like they got to see the real Freddie,
Okay.
because other than that, he was a stuck-up asshole, basically.
Ooh,
He didn't have a lot of friends at school because his mom had put into his head that he was better than everybody else.
Hmm. That's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a better than anybody else attitude for sure. Um, but like, by all means, other than his mom being a little bit like extra doting on him and stuff and being a little extra controlling, he had a relatively normal childhood. He wasn't abused, like nothing like that. Um, all that until he was about 17 when his mom got diagnosed with lung cancer, which
Mm,
different circumstances, but like same dude, same. I'm not gonna go
hmm.
crazy like that though.
Yeah,
um,
don't.
but
No,
when
no crazy here.
yeah, well, we have our own crazy, but it's not that kind of crazy. Uh, but he ended up when his mom got diagnosed with lung cancer, he was by her bedside the entire time because it was like a very advanced form that it was like no way she's going to survive. We caught it a little too late, unfortunately. So he stayed
Mm,
by her bedside for everything, including the doctor's appointments, where the doctor would give her morphine to help with her pain. Um,
mm,
yep.
yep.
But like eventually his mom did succumb to cancer and she ended up passing away. But he got to see how this doctor was helping his mom feel better, at least for that little bit of time. So he decided he wanted to become a doctor.
Hmm.
And being that he was 17, it was the end of high school, he had to take a little bit of a break before going into college kind of thing, and he kind of decided later on to be a doctor, so he had to do some studying and stuff. And he didn't get into any medical school or anything like that to begin with. He actually got denied by every single one he applied to, but he applied again and ended up getting in. um while he was there and stuff, he ended up meeting his wife, Primrose, who stuck by him through literally everything. And it's believed that
Well,
she
that means
helped him
either
out
she's
with a
a
couple of things too. However, she never received any sentencing at all. But it's only believed that she
mm,
did. It's
not confirmed.
yeah. Um but once he graduated and stuff, they had started on their family. They ended up having 4 kids over their lifetime. But once he graduated, he ended up going to do his like, his whatever ship thing where he starts out, you know? What I mean?
Hmm.
I can't remember what it's called. I couldn't find the exact term in here because it was all in British terms. I'm going to be real honest, and I got a little lost. Because they do use a slightly different terms for their medical students and stuff that I was just like, and I'm lost, okay. Um, but when he started his first internship and stuff, it ended up going pretty well. All of the doctors seemed to really like him, and he got along with all the other doctors really, really well. However, the nurses and anybody he considered lower than him got to see a different side of him in which he was a fucking dick and he didn't give two shits about everybody else and would straight up tell people, like straight up, you're stupid, I'm correct, no.
Mm, not good.
Yeah, where he would not take second opinions because of that. Um, he was also really good with his patients for the most part. Like everybody was just like, "Oh my god, he's amazing." The community totally thought he was amazing for a long time until some suspicious things started happening later down the road. But like he flew under the weather or under the radar for 27 years before he was
Ew.
caught. Yeah. His first gig that he did, so to speak, his first thing, he ended up, well, we don't know, but there were 4 people that died suspiciously while he was taking care of them and they were his patients. We don't know
Mm.
exactly what happened. It was so long ago that you can't really track in the records. However, one of them would be considered his youngest victim.
Oh
Um,
no.
where the he was sitting with the mom and this young lady of 4 years old, and she had some sort of disease that they knew that was going to be fatal, kind of thing. And she was in a lot of pain, and she was like, I don't know what you can do, doctor, but I need you to help me take care of her, kind of thing. Meaning, probably, get me the right meds, figure out the right surgery. Mom goes to the cafeteria, came back, the girl was dead.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah.
She didn't mean take
Mhm.
care of it that way, Harold.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But can you guess how many people in his 27 years? I bet you won't. Take a guess.
it's probably going to be higher than whatever I guess. God, 97.
Oh my god. At least he killed at least 250 people confirmed.
Jesus.
At least. There are some that are still unknown and will continue to be unknown because there were, I think, about 30 people of the however many profiles that the police tracked down that were his patients, kind of thing, that died under suspicious circumstances, that they could not contact the family to get any sort of, um, you know, hey, did you see anything suspicious, kind of thing. But, like, of the few that they did find that they were able to contact, kind of thing, we ended up finding out kind of how he would do things, in which he would have his patients, kind of thing. They'd come in, they'd be like, hey, I'm not feeling well. It could be a minor thing, such as a bladder infection. That was literally one of them. That's what she went in for, was a bladder infection. And, a
Mm.
bladder infection, he was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do some tests. I'll come by later and I'll do some blood tests.
Hmm.
Um, do you know what you to test for a bladder infection?
Um,
You
kind
take a
of.
pee sample. You don't test blood. So he would be like, I'm gonna take a blood sample, and he would go out to the houses, and he would quote unquote take a blood sample, in which he would end up either injecting them with a lethal dose of morphine or diamorphine, which is the 2 times as deadly cousin of it, in which it's 2 times as potent as morphine. Uh, and then he would just leave.
Cool.
Or, in the cases a little bit later on, he would end up. If you remember the one we talked about where the guy did the murder based off of the movie thing, he would turn the
Yeah.
AC, he would turn the heat way up
Yeah, to mess with the
with decomp. Yeah. Yeah.
decomp and then rigor mortis.
Yep. 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 Um, but like as I said, it was at least 250 people. The possible real number is closer to about 560 or 460, not 500, excuse me. But still, 460, that's a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This the amount of people who were dying near or around him should have sent some kind of emergency
That's what you would
like
think.
signals.
See, it actually did
Just
set off some alarm bells for a couple of people. One of the first one um, was before he'd even gotten to this point. There was some alarm bells that some medicine was missing out of the drug cupboard, kind of thing, and he always was the one who volunteered to make sure to fill it and restock it. He made sure to do it himself, so he knew it was done right. Turns out that they were missing quite a
mm-hmm.
bit of morphine from that, and they found out later on that he had an addiction to opioids.
Mm-hmm.
And when the the doctors at that practice decided to confront him, and they were like, hey, so we noticed that there's stuff missing. We know you're the only one who's been doing this. Like, what's going on? Can we help you not do this anymore? Like, we're gonna probably have to fire you, but like, we're giving you the benefit of the doubt that you'll better yourself, kind of thing. And he was like,
Mhm.
nah, 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 bro, you gonna help me cover this shit up so I can continue? Like, you got me, dude, you got me? And it's like, no. So he got fired from there. He ended up moving another state away, or not another state, but another province away, kind of thing, and opening or going to another practice, kind of thing. And it was the same thing. However, because it was in a different area, they did not know about his opioid addiction. So they hired him perfectly normal. Everything for a while was perfectly fine. He was rather careful now because he did almost get caught. However, now things like death certificates, there's an abnormal amount of them that were starting to come through. And doctors, if there's a death kind of thing that's kind of out of the ordinary, they have to do a double examination at death kind of thing where they're like, hey, this is what I found kind of thing, and this is what I think they died of kind of thing. Can you double check my work? In which
Mhm.
all the doctors there trusted him enough because he was at the time so young. Doesn't look like it now, but at the time he was so young and fresh out of school that everybody was like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. Great. So they would just sign on it. They would send it off to the coroner, and the coroner would sign off on it, kind of thing. Um, and you're like, coroner, well, why didn't somebody catch this kind of thing eventually? He would suggest to all of his patients' families, that it was the healthiest for them as a family to get their loved one cremated.
Ah,
So you know what you can't
yes.
test for morphine? Ashes. You can't
Mhm.
test ashes.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Um, but as I said, that was suspicious. She made a note. She sent it to the police. She was like, "Hey, something's not lining up here. Could you have somebody take a look at this? I'm concerned. Like this shouldn't be happening." Kind of thing. They looked into it. Police did an interview with him. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's blah 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 blah." Explained it away. He was a very charismatic person. Could explain pretty much anything away.
I mean, you would have to be doing this for what, 27 years you
27
said?
years.
Yeah.
But he
Jesus.
ended up leaving after that because of almost getting caught. He took a year off of killing, and then he opened up his own personal practice
Hmm.
that was just him kind of thing. So, he was out of other doctors' view, so he wouldn't, have issues. However, you still have to get that form signed. And where he would go to other practices, there was another practice that he ended up going to, and he's like, "Hey, here is this. Can you take a look?" kind of thing. And they would come and they would take a look, and ended up that they were getting so many forms. They were like, "This is concerning. What is going on?" We're at a hospital that has 4, 5, 6 doctors with a bunch of patients per doctor, where we
Mhm.
have like 30 deaths coming in for the entire year. And he's got like 60. This doesn't make sense. So,
No, no, it does not.
so she made a comment
So
to the
something is
police.
off.
Also, different region, of course, because he had moved again. And the police had followed up on it, kind of thing. And they went to him and they were like, "Hey, we need all of your death certificates. We need to do some research." In which there was 30 that should have been gathered, and he gave them 22.
Hmm.
When the medical people who are good with medical paperwork examined it and went through it, because they specifically hired somebody to be able to go through these doctors' documents, because police are not going to necessarily know what's being said, kind of thing.
Yeah, what to look for necessarily.
Yeah, but like they ended up finding there was nothing suspicious. And they also found that most of these people from the death certificates had been cremated.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing they could do with that. But if they would have gone one step further and actually talked to the coroner, they would have known that there were 8 missing death certificates that just never
Mm-hmm.
were accounted for because the police called it a fucking day, washed their hands and moved on after that because they were like, everything checks out. Next. However,
Yeah.
he finally fucked up enough and got cocky enough to think that he could pull an insurance fraud thing, as they do,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and which ultimately, his last victim, Kathleen Grundy, she died in her home on June 24th, 1998, and her death was rather unexpected by her daughter, because she had like, I can't even remember. I think it was like a cold. It was something so minor that there was no reason. But he said that she had had a heart attack. And he
Yeah.
suggested that she be cremated, and he left. I almost forgot to say one thing about him is he has a very cold demeanor towards his patients' families, in which it was, or his patients, his victims' families, in which once he was done with the patients, his victims, he would be very cold and just be like, I don't know, you take care of it, and walk out.
Mm. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, basically. Um, but like this was odd, really really odd kind of thing. But like she let it go until she went to go see her friend who was a will who had like her mother's will kind of thing, or I think they're called like brokers or something. I can't specifics. But she went over to her friend and her friend was like, "Hey, so something's not really adding up. This doesn't look like your mom's signature, and like this was filed at another law office other than the one that your mother originally filed at." And like it was a very blatantly fake will.
Ooh.
Yeah, like not
Ooh.
even well covered up. The signature looked like it had been faked, kind of thing. In the will now, instead of saying that it would go towards her children or her grandchildren or anything like that, now it was going to be mysteriously all going to Shipman, Dr. Shipman. All 386,000 euros were going to be going.
Yeah.
And it said in the
No.
will that it was because he was such a good doctor and he took such good care of her, kind of thing. Bullshit. Um, but like, finally, this was when the police did something because the will was definitely fraudulent, so they could at least talk to him about, hey, this is fraud. We got to take you in for this. Sorry, dude, that sucks. They eventually, within the year after this happened, got them to take away his medical license. So he was still practicing after her. However, he stopped after that because he figured out he was, under suspicion.
Yeah.
Um, but this Grim Reaper ended up killing a lot of old people specifically. So that's why I'm calling him that. And they did more research and they were like, oh shit, that's weird. And they ended up getting all the evidence they needed to be able to bring him in because Kathleen Grundy, her body hadn't been cremated yet. So they came in and they did a test and they found that there was enough morphine in her body to kill her, kind of thing. And the way that he was doing things was to speed up the decomp of morphine as well, because when it's hot, morphine ends up decomposing quicker. That's why it's typically held like in a fridge kind of thing for cancer patients kind of thing. Um,
Right.
but like considering it was lethal and she had probably been sitting there for, I believe it was a week.
Hmm.
Oh boy. Uh, they ended up finding like all of his death certificates. They went through all of them and they were like, "Hey, let's try and contact a bunch of people." They found a few people um and contacted them, and we got to hear their stories, in which there was one where the neighbor came in on him doing it kind of thing, in which she came over to see her neighbor, went to the kitchen to go get a glass of water, came back, and her neighbor was now dead. And
Mm.
Shipman was like, "Oh,
No.
she had a heart attack. I have to go. I'm going to go. I already called the ambulance. They'll be here shortly."
No.
If we look at phone records, which we can kind of thing, or which the police could, it found he never once called any ambulance or any hospital. And if he did, they were usually confused and they were like, "The fuck are you talking about? You never called it. How are you going to Why are you canceling an ambulance you never called?" Because he would say, "Oh, I called an ambulance. They're going to come and get her," kind of thing. "Oh, no, she's passed already. We can't do anything."
Jesus.
Another one was a
I'm
son
saying that a
and
lot, but like, what the hell?
yeah. Another one was a son had come over to spend time with his mom, kind of thing, because she wasn't feeling well, kind of thing. Nothing serious though, at all. Dead. The son went up to her room to grab her something because she had asked for something, came back down. Nope. But like, if you think about it, if you're saying, "Oh, I have to do some blood tests," that's a pretty easy way to be able to get away with, sticking somebody with a needle. And I don't know about you, but I personally have a fear of needles. And if I see a needle like pricking me, I about throw up. I'm not a fainting kind, I'm a throw up kind. So I have to
Yeah.
look away. So like some of these patients probably looked away and they didn't, and when they looked away, that's the last thing they saw.
Yeah.
Um, he ended up
Unfortunate.
he ended up getting a life sentence for like 15 that they found originally, and then they were like, "Well, there's all these other ones," because they ended up diving deeper into his history, because originally they only found so many, but once they dove deeper, they found more, and they were like, "Well, there's really no point in trying him. He's already in prison for life." 2 years later, or it might have been longer than that. Sorry, Steven's being confusing. Oh my god, he's gonna confuse me so badly. Shut up! I love you, but shut up. um, but he ended up being found in his cell where he had hung himself with his sheets. So there was never really any time served, kind of thing. It was like 2 or 3 years that was served, and that was it. He
He took
basically
the
got
easy
away
way
scot free
out.
for doing atrocities to multiple different people. And
Yeah,
that's
it
Harold
just.
Shipman, one of the most prolific serial killers in the UK, if not the most prolific one. If you want to see like more info and stuff like that, I believe Dr. Death is on YouTube, and that goes more into depth on him. I ended up reading the book that docu series was based on. Highly recommend listening to the book, if nothing else. Um,
Yeah. He's very much someone I had heard of, but. Whew.
but as I said, his wife was with him by his side, defending him up until the very end, basically.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
Not.
Primrose! I mean, I understand if you have to for your own sanity, but like, fuck your chicken strips, bish. But we're gonna do some Genshin today. Because I actually have it working.
Mm-hmm.
If it'll launch. There we go.
Well, I think we both. Well, I did a pretty long one, but yeah.
Mine could have been
Oh, were
longer,
you?
but I definitely shortened it down.
Did you want to play Genshin?
Yeah.
Okay, I will need to relocate because I am currently being quiet in my room. So let me go downstairs to my PS5. Oh. Yeah, you can get set up because you had to reload your game, right? Or get on a new one. Oh boy.
But yeah,
Oh, no momentum.
follow along, hang out with us again if you enjoyed that. Otherwise, we're just switching over to Genshin as our little post operations chill session major. It's a way to relax after craziness. I'm also gonna nom upon the food Steven brought home. Oh, good. Switch over
As a dutiful maid would. Everything's ready. Let's go.
I am a whole floor behind being able to do that yet.
Got some
I
stuff to catch
haven't
up
got
on.
to play some of these characters yet because I was just not in the mood for Genshin for the longest time.
And that is fine. So, during the kind of end of Christmas holiday stuff, I bought myself a new chair for downstairs.
A new what?
New chair.
Woo!
I don't know if you can even remember, but I used to have, a big kind of brown, fluffy pink one.
Umbrella warfare, I guess. A proper send
Might not.
from the Spina with love.
Fine if you don't. But essentially that one collapsed underneath one of my brothers like 2 years ago.
Coming at ya.
And since then I've been kind of
Well, with rocks.
making do with other things.
Ha!
Briefly tried kind of a
Umbrella warfare,
taller, gray-backed one, but that one's stitching is not as good, so it's kind of been slowly
attack! That's the way.
ripping.
Coming at ya.
But I just found a nice new one. It's not as fuzzy as the pink one was, but it is very comfortable.
Your life is mine.
Challenge complete.
Having fun with Navia? I'm just, I guess,
I'm
testing her out.
I went to exit and I hit the wrong button.
Just as good. Yeah.
Not the
I know
intention to
the-
play her, but
Yeah, no, I know
hello, I
of
love your new look.
yeah, Zhangyi's Archon, where unfortunately it's not an official costume, it's just, you know, for a side promotional event, which is very sad. Yes, hello, Gomez. How are you? My brother's cat is just wandering by.
I just don't have any like good cards that I could play the card game though either, and it became like all of a sudden.
Not necessarily, but it's actually fairly popular. The card game. Let's see.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
Let's see.
I will be requesting to come in a second if you are ready for me.
I'm ready.
There we go.
Shit. Shit. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Try again.
Okay, here we go. No, it's fine.
There we go.
It's all good. Alright, and then I'm going to change my party. Let's see.
Once,
Alright.
there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens.
Skip.
Whatever it is. What exactly is
Okay.
it? I didn't quite catch your request.
Tall other dragon boy.
That's a pretty boy.
This is Nouvelette. He's technically
You seem
the
tired.
Hydro Archon.
Would you like some tea? I'll brew you
Not
some.
really.
Do you
It's
take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
complicated lore that you'll get to eventually.
This. Huh? Once you reach adventure rank 40, you can quick challenge locked.
Oh yeah, in the most recent update, they actually did a lot of good ease of life stuff. Okay. So you can actually challenge
Leave
the
it to
boss
me.
ranks
All of it. Whatever it is.
for certain things
What
if you haven't
exactly
request for
is
them.
it?
Um,
I didn't quite
I
catch
see
your
the
request.
value in my
you're
own work,
working on
but I also
the
see the
characters-
meaning in all the
characters'
endeavors
artifact
of the
sets.
people of
They give
Fontaine.
you what
I believe I will
recommended sets
continue
actually
to take
are.
pride in fulfilling my duties.
Not so good.
Ready. Oh, gotta love it. Some of them I already have done. Local legend. Electric conductor. I've already looked at this. Okay, whatever.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
Just looking through all your stuff.
Kind of. I have 6 of the 9 for the
Whenever you need me,
I was working
I'll
on
be
that for a
there.
little bit, but then I ran out of.
So, yeah, the 9 Pillars of Peace is a long one, because it literally
Melusians
requires
are
you to have
beautiful
found all of the
creatures. They
Geoculuses.
are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to be friendly
So,
and cause them no harm.
yeah, not even I have completed that one, because I'm still missing a few. I'm probably at this point need to pull up, like, a guide going like, hey, where are all the Geoculuses? And then spend an hour running around trying to find the, like, 3 or 4 I don't have currently.
Dang. No likes yet. I was hoping I'd at least get that.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or
I guess
2?
we can explore, we can work on, building some of your characters.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my
I'm gonna go to
duties.
this one first, because it's one of the... If I can figure out how to use my goddamn map again. I got so used to Fei Farm.
Okay, remember you have to go to one of the white icons. Those are the actual quest, or not quest, the teleporters. There you go.
I got it eventually.
So
Leave it to me.
what do I
All
do?
of
I
it.
guess I can
Whatever
just
it
wander
is.
around.
What exactly is it? I didn't quite catch your request.
I can't really help you with your commissions.
Oh, damn.
One of the music discs.
Radiant space.
One of the music discs.
It's
Guess
just
I could
my
just run around killing things.
Elaine has her heart set on joining the Knights of Rebellious training. Riots now. I really hope to help mentor her, but she doesn't believe me when I say I used to be an Avenger. She just wants to trade alone. And there's nothing I can prove to her either. Once you've got a wife and kids, it'd be selfish and reckless to carry on going on with those dangerous adventures.
It's got some kind of achievement.
Okay, let's get it done. I know now. I'm pretty sure she's like right around the corner, and this is the one that I know how to do now because I had to do it with you. about as much meat as I'm gonna get off of that thing. Where the fuck is this monster camp? There it is.
Leave it all to me. Punishment!
I guess I should follow you around to help you kill things.
Someone needs it. You can't run. Shiver. I must leave no stone un...
I'm coming slowly. Here I am. Hello.
Hello. I'm being attacked.
Chest.
Chicken.
I suppose food is also good. Yeah. No, there's literally a chest over here you can get before you run away.
I already ran away.
You're already going. Oh, okay. Well, let's see.
Time to clean up.
Okay, here we go. I'll be down in a minute. Four.
Lights out.
Oh shoot.
What? Well, I need to take care of it anyway because today's trash. Not trash, but yeah. Don't worry. Hi, sorry. Quick conversation with the brother. How are you? My kitten is gonna come be a menace, I think.
Chicken bones behind me, I guess. blah blah blah. Don't really care what she's actually saying. No offense. It's just daily. This smell bad.
Everything is
That
negotiable,
just complete
except
one of
overtime.
My own
What?
commissions?
Can you?
Question mark?
Good.
It actually did. Okay, I guess I can help you with the commissions. Crazy. Alright then, let me just go help speed run these real fast. Nice.
Oh, you finished it already.
Like I said, let me just speedrun these real fast. You can come collect the loot though. Because I just, killed a lot of things.
I'm good. I'm already lost. I'm gonna be real honest.
Cool.
We vibing. A squirrel!
A plus.
Nobody's gonna come in.
Steady as stone.
On to the last one.
As a good night should. Punishment! Leave it all to me. Judgment! I'll catch up.
Hold on. Okay, we're just gonna deal with these. So.
That is that.
Hello, my baby. How are you? Are you gonna cuddle me, or are you going to go for me? Ah, I cannot talk to your cat.
Work hard and live each day to the fullest.
Alright.
That is what life in
Well,
Mondstadt is all
what
about,
would you like
isn't
to
it?
work on leveling up? Equipment or character or weapon even.
My favorite always, but I don't know what
Go ahead and go into the
Oh, I
character
don't.
profile.
unlock new talent. Wait, what?
Okay, so we need to go do more cryo register. Yes, baby. Yeah. All right. We can work on her. We just need to go kill the cryo-regisfine a few times. You're actually pretty close to it.
As I said, good thing the cryo thing is like right here, right?
Yeah. Yep. Alright, the thing is just hanging out behind my feet. I guess he's, doing what he does. Alright, I am descending now. Ah, I see you. Look across the way. Do you see me?
Yes.
Ha! I see everything! As a dutiful maid would. Ha! Steady as stone. The Temple of Wisdom! Ha! Lights out. Yeah!
Settle down.
You know what is great? He's literally just like a cannon. Alright, and now we have to wait 5 minutes. So, do you know how to,
Whenever
essentially
you
elevate
need me,
your,
I'll be there.
crystals?
What crystals?
You know, go to the, alchemy, table and essentially level them up. I can show you. Yeah, so go back to Mondstadt, the town. Right where I'm at.
I see you. I'm on my way.
And then over here.
Oh, it says alchemy.
Yeah, the alchemy table, crafting table. So go into it.
Yeah, I know how to do
And
this.
then
I get what you're talking about.
yeah. Because obviously, generally speaking, it's just easier to upgrade your crystals.
Melusines are beautiful creatures.
So
They are the pride of Fontaine.
start low, start
Be
with your
sure to
smallest,
befriend them and cause them no harm.
and then go from there. Although, looks like you don't have a lot in general, so we'll get some more from killing more of the cryo-regisfines. And it's a really kind of another nice thing, because if you go into enemies and you go to the one you're working on, it will generally give you, I think, a time frame for it to regenerate, I think, anymore. Maybe? I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't give you the information about how long you've got anymore.
Realsley? Who the heck's that?
Wriothesley.
Risley?
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and
Not
pure,
quite. His hair
while
does look
water
like
from
that a
Liyue
bit, but
has an
no.
enduring aftertaste. In
Yeah,
Inazuma,
closer.
the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile,
Generally speaking,
but
a
it
lot of
must
the
be savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
Hey, your character you're right now is
Anybody that? Yes. He's the Chief Justice.
Nicolette, shut up.
He's French. I won't.
He just keeps talking and I can't hear you. I'm like, Nicolette, dude, I need to hear your person.
You seem tired.
Also,
Would you
I
like some
can't-
tea? I'll
if
brew
you
you
can't tell,
some.
he's also
Do
very
you take
pretty.
sugar? 1 cube or 2.
Oh, hold on. Oh, Aw, shit, I can't do it in co-op mode. Fuck! I could have hoped.
Level up your adventure rank.
Yeah.
I could always.
30.
I see the value
Oh
in my
yeah,
own
no, I
work,
can't.
but I also
help you
see
with
the
that.
meaning in all the
I
endeavors
can
of the
always
people of
briefly
Fontaine.
leave and you chat real fast.
I
and then
believe
come
I will
back.
continue
Although
to take pride in fulfilling my
we
duties.
don't have much time.
What?
However you want
Claire,
to
I'm
go
sorry.
about it.
Give me a second. I need to fuck around with my settings. I cannot understand.
All right.
It's like not you. My brain just absolutely cannot focus right now.
Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon?
There we go. Now I can actually function. Jesus. Oh. I'm a cat named Neko. Meet Neko.
You seem
the
tired.
provisional
Would you like
head
some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take
of,
sugar?
the
1 cube or 2?
Sase Shrine.
Oh yeah. Very cute. The kitty.
Purveyor of punishment. Deal over 50k crit damage.
Oh boy.
Making do. Only bring materials for a training dummy to Herman. Okay. Jailhouse Fiesta.
Whenever you need
Yeah,
me.
the names for
I'll
some
be
of the
there.
achievements are hilarious.
I've never actually paid attention to them.
Yeah, there's literally one called Quest Clear in all caps. That's
Yep, I see
achievement
it. Clear
for
20 bounties. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nowhere near
and then-
that.
Let's see.
Can we do bounties together? Because if we could, that would be fucking nice. Because I've been struggling.
I
know
don't.
if having you in the game would help with the glitch not glitching, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. We can try. I've already done mine for the week because I've gotten better at doing them. Just because I've gotten more invested in making sure I get to the top reputation. So I guess you can come and try.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some.
I
Do you
will
take
just
sugar?
wait over
1
by
cube or 2?
Eartha, who's the one from Mondstadt. Nope, you're going way too far. You're already in Mondstadt. You just need to come over to where I am, in Mondstadt.
I see now.
Yeah,
I see
most of the
the
stuff in
little
Mondstadt
mask.
is fairly localized. Because all of the cities, as they level up, get slowly bigger.
How's my reputation in Mondstadt? Bounties.
Let's see if
Water
it'll
comes in
actually
many
let you
flavors
do
to the
it.
discerning palate.
If you add
All right.
Mondstadt's water is crisp and
accept
pure,
bounty,
while water from
tracking.
Liyue
Do the
is
highest.
enduring
Do the
and
highest. I
lasting.
can help you with the
In
highest.
Inazuma, the water possesses a
Whoa,
depth
how
of
do
flavor
I-
unlike
wait,
any
hold
other.
up, what?
Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex
Can't
flavor
cancel.
profile,
I think I have the
but
right
it must
thing. I'm
be
not sure.
savored patiently.
You
to
can do
fully
X abandoned
appreciate it.
bounty.
Okay. Confirm. Okay. Okay. Check. Accept bounty. Okay, check map.
Melusines are beautiful creatures.
Select.
They are the pride of Fontaine.
Okay.
Be sure to befriend them and cause them no
Yes.
harm.
I'm coming. Move into the area. Alright, so the trick with Mondstadt bounties is you have to use your eye. Okay, so you know how to use your, eye? Your elemental eye?
Yeah.
Nope, not that. It should be on the like the little gamepad. Okay, go back out.
Oh! That is so fucking helpful, thank you.
Yeah, there you go. You have to follow the line. And you just have to follow it to where it goes. Which can be a pain in this location because sometimes you have to climb. But yeah, just keep following in the direction and you'll either see like a yellow light over a enemy, a light just on the ground.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Just so like I can't see the line to follow it, but I can follow you and help you. Because the enemies are appearing from you. Okay. And it is just easier to run around.
Is it?
Hi, buddy. Don't knock those over. Sorry, I'm talking to the kitten. You want to come into my lap?
Steady as
Yeah,
stone.
he's catting. He's doing his cat stuff.
Cats are catting.
Ah,
Okay,
treasure
basically, I was
chest.
trying to grab my headphones earlier.
Why are you just sniffing at the metal?
I'm trying to get them.
Come here, baby. Come here. Here. Go ahead. Or not. That's fine too. Yeah, I'll go clean your litter box after this. Where did he go? Oh, you're up there. I got distracted with kitty handling. Okay, well, do you want the chest?
Oh, I thought I had
Rune? Rune?
There are a few interesting
There's one up
trinkets
here. Okay, now go back to following the lines. Yes, baby, you're gonna jump up. Okay. Generally speaking, you can usually follow the line for a good portion of time. Soren. Oh, so see that yellow light? There you go. You want to pluck it up. There we go. Soren, that's my finger. Stop nibbling it. Soren. Be a good baby cat like that. Okay, and then one more, and the big boss will appear. Ah ha ha ha! Ah!
Oh, there.
Sweetheart, that's my shoulder.
Found enough clues.
There you go. Okay, now I can lead you right to where the big guy is. Because he always generates in the same spot. Maybe he'll generate just for me. We'll see. I'll run over here. No, he will not. Darn. Soren. You want to go up.
I know, I'm on my way.
Just, yeah. Well, you're about to run out of, yeah, stamina. Soren. Okay, he should generate somewhere around here. You have to run into the area. Or, huh, I guess he doesn't. He always generates over here for me, that's crazy. Okay. Well, you follow the blue lines.
I follow blue lines.
Elemental sight.
I think it's
Soren.
underneath.
Okay, then we fly.
Cyclone trees.
You're going the wrong way. Okay. Somewhere over here. Ah, Soren, don't.
Holy shit! Hello, motherfucker.
Shiver! You can't run.
Where are you? You're over there. Okay.
Leave it all to me.
Hello. You generated a place that you normally don't for me. Soren, choose your next action very carefully. Sorry, the kitten has finally. Ah! Decided to bother me. Ah! No, stop. Stop.
Have a good night.
Ah, my tender thighs.
Bounty complete. Oh. Finally!
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Soren.
I'm like, I'm such an
But yeah,
expert
no,
at
so-
this game, and then I'm like, hey Claire. We got lost.
Aha! Kitten, stop.
Someone needs assistance.
Jesus. So yeah, you can we can just do the other two. Oh, Soren. I'm sorry. The kitten is being feisty. But yeah, that was just the big thing that you were missing, is the fact that you had to use elemental sight.
Do one more and then we'll sign off.
We could do one more and then do another of the Frag Ridge is fine if you want,
I mean, it is right there.
because it's regenerated at this point, since we're going to be in the same area. Okay, I am here to assist. Where are you? You're over there. You are climbing. Okay, I need. Hello, baby.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Do you bounce, buddy? Do you bounce? Ah, that's for toe. I'm sorry, he's being a bit of an annoyance today. Very cute, but still an annoyance.
Bow your head.
Okay. Ow, 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 ow. Soren. Do not make this back. Ha!
Get it. Oh my god, am I about to get a cool ass
Soren.
fucking sword? Hell yeah.
Leave it to me. All of
I
it.
see the
Whatever
value
it
in my
is.
own work,
What
but I also
exactly
see the
is
meaning in
Oh.
all the
it?
endeavors of the
I
people
didn't
of
quite catch
Fontaine.
your request.
I forget who that sword is for, but, well, no, it's for Ayaka. They always run the, character weapon with the character, duh. Ignore me. I've got two, legendary weapons, actually. I just pulled one literally this week. It's the, Primordial Jade Winged Spear, and then I've got Amos's Bow.
Steady as stone.
The spear is more exciting, because it's, Zhao's weapon. Generally speaking. Whee! Die. Yes, sweetheart. I'm not paying you near enough attention. I understand. I'm abandoned you. And now you're sitting in front of the TV. Okay. You're getting so big. Actually, can I take a
Still
picture
has
of you real
the
fast, or are you gonna... Hold on. Hey, Soren.
Time to clean up.
Soren,
Leave it all to me.
sweetheart. Thank you, baby. Sorry, being distracted by my cat. I'm not helping as near as much as I said I would.
Oh, you help more than anything just by telling me, hey, use your fucking elemental sight. Cause I'm stupid.
To be fair, it took me a while to figure it out because the bounties for later Soren, don't you dare start fighting it. Soren! Soren! No! Darn it. The bounties for later cities, it's not a requirement, where in Mondstadt it seems to be. Really, Soren? Really? Okay, hold on. Get that out of your mouth. Don't fight. You can't run. We have this chat hot. That's the no-no for you.
Take a moment to rest.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Okay, onwards, my dear.
Go fight the signal thing.
Well, have you finished the bounty yet?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Oh, I was not paying enough attention. Sorry.
That was the.
Like I said,
Yeah.
the kitten was being well, a kitten.
Yeah.
Steady as stone.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Make yourselves a home. Yeah.
Allow me to intervene.
Ah, yes.
Cool.
Alright, yep, and that's a good time to wrap up.
Ascend. Almost there. I got 3 more of those little things, and then excuse me.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea?
Alright, well,
Or
I'm
bring
glad I
some?
could be of help.
Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2?
A lot nicer.
Yep, I'm a good resource.
Oh, that's so much more satisfying. Well, cause you
Nice,
left,
I
I'm
did.
gonna go and collect this stuff
Yeah.
from all our
So,
completed missions.
mhm.
Quick a second. Oh shit, I have to turn off. I forgot.
That's an important thing to do.
Return to single player, confirm.
So, how
Ad
familiar
Astra
with
Abyssosque.
the
Welcome.
miniverse,
Thank you for completing today's commission.
lifestyle
Astra
slash like
Abyssosque.
diner,
Welcome to the
etc.,
adventure.
etc. things are you?
I bought one for my cousin for Christmas.
Yeah, they are pretty cool because obviously, they're essentially little resin kits.
Yeah. They are very cool. I let them know, hey, do this on a sunny day, but you gotta leave it out in the sun to let it cure because it's a like UV light thing.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, UV flashlights aren't the most expensive, depending on the one you get.
But pretty sure
Jules from
long-
Leeway.
no,
Come
correct.
take a look.
Just long. Not the wrong way, just the long way.
Transfers of supplies.
I'm so excited. Now I actually understand what the fuck I'm doing. I'll actually be able to get the pretty wings.
Yeah.
But as fun as this has been, it is
Time to go.
us vault. To
So
get
long, farewell, adieu, goodbye.
Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Feel free to follow along. My username is
Transfers of supplies must be reported.
Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Have a great rest of your week. I'll probably talk to you guys at some point.
Leave it to me. All of it. Whatever it is.
Get it done.
What
Back Christmas.
exactly is
Have to go to
it? I didn't quite catch your request.
Saturday. But I'll get it done. It's a quick project. I'll even stream it, so it'll be even quicker. And
Transfers of
we'll
supplies
have
must be reported.
too much of one. I don't have the most materials, but you know. But thanks again. Love y'all.